Now it's time for Open House, sponsored by Pyramid Heating and Cooling.
It is time to take your health, summer adventure, and collecting up a notch. To show us, we've got my friend, expert craftsman, and celebrity designer Chip Wade. Welcome back to Around the House Northwest.
Eric, always great to be here, my brother.
Thank you, my friend. What do we got today? You always got cool stuff for us.
You know, the summer is the time where we start to think about, you know what, we might go outside, we might get seen in a bathing suit, you know, that whole thing, you know, so health kind of, you know, raises up on the motivation factor a little bit. But, you know, if you're honest, you know, you like me, we try to eat as good as we can. We try to exercise, but it gets harder. I mean, I'm 41, almost 42 years old. It certainly is not getting easier. And kind of what's out there right now is, you know, you got diet plans and all this kind of one size fits all, which we know just doesn't really work. You know, get on Atkins for a while, get on the carnivore diet, our bodies aren't all in a couple of buckets. So I actually found this device. This is called Lumen. It's pretty interesting. So this little device here, you actually breathe into it. And what it is, it's kind of called a handheld metabolic coach. And basically what that means is this little device, you breathe into it. So you kind of get your resting heart rate down, you breathe in, and you hold your breath for about 10 seconds, and it concentrates that kind of chemistry in your oxygen. And then you blow into this thing, and immediately through the app, what it does is it gives you a readout of exactly what your body's metabolism is doing in that moment. By metabolism, it means what type of energy your body's burning. Are you burning carbohydrates, and at what percentage, or are you burning fat for energy? And why that's important is if you eat, you know, the wrong thing at the wrong time, then your body is trying to burn a different type of energy and not being quite as efficient. So this guy, in the morning, like before you go work out, you breathe into it, it gives you a heads up of exactly what your body's doing and what you should be eating to maximize your own personal metabolism, which is absolutely awesome, right? So this technology has been out, you know, for professional athletes, but it's not been attainable for, you know, just everyday guys like you and me to be able to have, you know, on their bathroom vanity to be able to do in the morning. So it's pretty cool. Lumen.me is what this thing is called. Have you ever seen this before?
No, but man, that would be great to do before you head out to that summer barbecue at your friend's place so you know what you're going to eat today.
I think you and I are probably going to benefit from this next one as much as anything. I'm not sure if you've ever tried any nasal breathing strips before, but they're kind of, you know, hit and miss. In my experience, I've tried some, like, nah, you know, that's just not really doing much. This is completely different, basically better than nasal strips in about every single way. This is called intake breathing. And basically it's a nasal dilator. So what it has is, if you can see here, it has these little pads right here. And this is the magnet actually stuck to it. These little pads here, they stick on either side of your nose, and they have like a little metal disc right into it. You see this is a magnet here. It's actually an applicator which holds onto there. But they spend a lot of time to make sure that the adhesive on these will not irritate your skin. So they stick on there really strong. And then these little clips right here that come in the starter kit. Actually, the starter kit has 4 different sizes. So actually you can kind of see some of them are bigger. You got a real big schnoz, you know, some of them are a little smaller, but either way, you're going to find one that's going to fit. And what it does is you stick it on either side of your nose like this, and it pulls your nasal cavity outwards, and it is a nasal dilator. What that's going to do is allow you to bring in a lot more air, which means a lot more oxygen saturation. I've been wearing these at night as well. It helps with your sleeping. I snore bad. You know, I've been down that road with the CPAPs and stopped doing all that because it's just like ridiculous. Like, you know, I look like Predator in the bed, you know, so all these types of things, you know, but also for athletes, for recovery. Again, the more oxygen you can get in your body, the more you can get your body into a state of doing what it's supposed to do with the right things inside, it really starts to take care of itself. So these are actually really, really interesting. They're made extremely well as well. So you can find this in intake breathing. I'm not sure if you know, have any sleep apnea or, you know, struggle with any of that, but this is something.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, very cool. All right, next up, I don't know if I actually caught up with you last time I saw you, but about a month ago, I took my family out west. I was actually in Las Vegas because I'm there all the time for doing work, but I drove over to St. George, Utah, which is just about a couple of hours away. And that is an idealistic spot to get out in the outdoors, to go off-roading. And I actually went to the northern rim of the Grand Canyon with my 3 kids and my wife. We rented a Jeep and took off. And it's very, very, very remote up there. Not like the South Rim where like the tourist center is. But I wanted to go. But of course, whenever you get off-road in the wilderness and exploring, you end up losing cell signal. And, you know, if you don't know where you're going, you don't have a great map, it can be hazardous. So I found this mobile application, the GPS application called OnX Off-Road. What's awesome about this is this maps all the public and private lands across the country. I actually used it in Alaska. I was up there a couple of weeks ago, and we went off-roading up there and worked perfect. Now, what they do, so they map so you know where you are and what trails are available. So once you get out there, you're not finding something that's closed or that was closed 3 years ago and you didn't realize it. But the big difference with what OnX Off-Road is doing, though, is they have these trail masters that go out and actually look at the conditions and details of every single trail. So again, if you just have a regular Jeep or a regular Bronco that's not extended lift, some of these trails need extended height ground clearance. The last thing you want to do is get off road, take the day off of work, got the family out there, and then all of a sudden you're like, what? I got to go through 2.5 foot of water. I'm not taking my new $80,000 Bronco through that. And you've wasted the day. So a lot of that type of intel is really important to know exactly really how long it's going to take, how much fuel you're going to need. Really cool. And also the last thing is that this guy allows you to download maps so you can do it offline. Because of course, the second you get out into a lot of these remote places, you lose signal, but this is going to stick with you the whole time. It integrates seamlessly with CarPlay. So it's just a joy to work with. It's real professional looking, and you can create all kinds of fun maps and find trails that you didn't even know existed close to you, which is really fun.
That is awesome, Chip. So where do people find these things, man?
I've got all this up for you guys at BeTheBestHome.com. Again, hopefully this was helpful to get a little healthy, get outside and explore with energy the rest of the summer. So hopefully you guys have a great one, especially you, Eric.
Thanks, brother. Chip Wade, thanks for doing this again. It's so great to see you and catch up.
You are watching Around the House Northwest.